Welcome back, everybody. Today is Monday Meta Update Day, as we are looking at what exactly is developing in 7.33c, and this is just going to be a lot of me talking to you about all the heroes that I am seeing, and so you can hear me in my games. I see them in my games and you can hear me talk about them. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so heroes that I see literally every game, or at least like 70% of games, pick banned most of the time. We're going to go down the roles of supports into cores. So when we're looking at supports, we are looking at 5 positions that lane dominate and have some sort of buff for their carry as one of their 2 criteria that I am seeing. So I'm seeing a ton of Venomancer, I'm seeing a ton of CM, and I'm seeing a good amount of heroes like Lich, Bane. You're getting the picture. Lane dominators that secure their lane. And a lot of these heroes have very high win rates. An example like Bane has a 57% win rate in my bracket, even though he's only been picked about 500 times. So these heroes are maybe slept on. Bane slept on. And something you guys can keep an eye out if you like these heroes as support. In the 4 position, heroes that I'm seeing every single game. Spear Breaker, Clinks, Techies. Those are pretty much the 3. They're not in my hero grade. You don't see the Techies because I don't want to jeopardize my 100% win rate Techies, guys. I don't know if you know this, but the reason why I'm so apprehensive to playing Techies is this 100% win rate. The only hero that I have that on. But honestly, Techies is so broken this patch that I'm thinking I might have to actually pick him up. So when we're looking at supports, what makes so many of these supports strong is that they win trades, or in the case of a hero like Spear Breaker, he's so good with the map being open. So if you think about Techies, Spear Breaker, Clinks, they all move around the map very well, they win trades, and then they also provide some sort of either catch for the team, or in the case of Clinks, he provides backline assassination by rushing a Solar Crest that a lot of other supports just cannot do. I didn't even mention Bounty Hunter because we talked about him last week, but I do still see a lot of Bounty Hunter, but he's kind of like been elevated to a ban every single game, so I don't see him nearly as much in my game simply because he's banned all the time. What I would like to mention about supports, guys, because kills are worth so much and because the map is so wide open, the only real safe thing and efficient thing for you to do is follow a core around and gank with them. So a ton of supports, pretty much everybody is going the buff items of Pavis, Drums, and Solar Crest. These are the items that you see at least one of on every single lineup within the supports, and Solar Crest is almost so broken I see it sometimes on 2 different heroes. So keep in mind that that's why the map is so open, kills are worth a ton, so you can't really afford to be feeding as a support this patch. And these items allow you to best follow your cores around without running out of mana from items like Glimmer Cape and Force Staff. These items give you some sort of mana or mana regen, and they cost less mana or no mana at all than they give you. Moving on to 3 positions. So I'm still seeing a ton of Doom, and I'm seeing a lot of heroes that buy auras still. I'm still seeing Doom, Underlord, Darkseer, and then heroes that have actually crept up into the meta are the Legions, the Axes, the Blade Mail Blink buyers. So we're seeing a little bit of the hardcore initiators and a little bit of the aura builders coming out in the offlane. Kind of same old from last patch, not too much changed, even though they nerfed the aura items. And then in the mid lane, we're just starting to see pretty much 90% universal heroes. I'm seeing Windranger, Pango, Void Spirit, Timbersaw. As predicted, I'm actually seeing a lot of Timbersaw in the mid lane. Basically, the idea of these universal heroes is they all got buffed so much in terms of the damage for each stat being 0.7 that these heroes have insane base damage. They just go stat items, so they have like 2,000 HP at 15 minutes, and they hit for like 170 damage with stat items. So a lot of these universal heroes, I highly encourage you guys to try various universal heroes. I think they're super fun because the damage buff to them allows you to go pretty much any item you want that is suitable for the game, and also allows your hero to like do the damage. It can be Diffusal Blade, Atos, Echo Saber, pretty much any stat item in the game feels really good on these heroes. So that's kind of like a miniature PSA that universal heroes, very, very strong, people, okay? Like, I'm seeing so many universal heroes, and their win rates are also pretty much all high, okay? There's a few that are struggling, and a lot of them are the ones that are like people that don't play the hero or trying it and losing. An example is Position 1 Magnus. This is a hero that I've now seen a ton of, as well as Position 1 Windranger. My last pub was actually Position 1 Mag versus Position 1 Windranger, and these heroes are not uncommon. We're seeing a lot of Position 1s that are universal for this exact same reason. The idea of the map right now, let's just remind you guys of the meta before I get into the position ones, okay? Is the map is really wide open. There's a ton of farming camps to be had, and you pretty much have to be able to survive ganks. So what I'm seeing within the cores is people are asking me about like core Venge that I was talking about. I've like scratched that one. We're talking about like Drow Rangers, snipers, stuff like this. It's just not good. I don't see these heroes. The reason why is because the team can't always be together. You're always separated, and it has to be that if the enemy runs at you with 2 or 3 heroes, you don't just guaranteed die. So we're seeing either every core having tankiness and or mobility. And that's why Wind Ranger and Mag, being the universal carries that I'm seeing a lot of, make a lot of sense, right? Mag especially because he has a built-in Battle Fury. So a lot of carries right now, we want some sort of flash farming mechanic, but most notably, they need to be survivable to ganks. So we're still seeing a lot of Slark, Ursa, Illusion Heroes, and then flash farmers like Sven's been creeping up. Yatro's been doing the Jug build. I'll be making a video on that as well. The build that he's been winning 75% of his Juggernaut games with. And as well as just, you're getting the picture, right? The cores that are hard to gank and or flash farm, and the ones that do both are getting picked nearly every single game. Medusa and Alk have definitely taken a step down. I haven't seen them nearly as much, and they definitely seem counterable. But I think later stages of the draft, they're still strong if like they have no health regen reduction against Alk, or they have no natural diffusal builders against Medusa. The issue in my bracket with Medusa right now is that since so many universal heroes are getting picked, they don't mind buying diffusal, and then Medusa ends up playing against 2 or 3 diffusals, and the game feels really hard. So that is really what I've seen so far in 7.33C. This meta has been constantly shifting, and I think the fact that they buffed the universal heroes was by far the biggest change that they made. And stay tuned for exactly what heroes I'm noticing are creeping up, but I'm quite confident that the way the supports are playing, following cores around the map with buff items, the mid laner tending to be a mobile, potentially universal hero, and then the off laner being an aura buyer or a hardcore blink initiator, and then the carry being a flash farming independent hero that comes online with like 6,000 gold of items and starts fighting with the team. Thanks for watching, everybody. BSJ, scratching his head, is out.